Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Sal and Angelo podcast in the Cobb's Comedy Club Green Room with a very special guest, Mr. Michael Ian Black.
Hi, Sal.
Thank you, Michael, for being here.
My pleasure.
It's just saw Michael up there rocking it. It was good stuff up there. You packed, man. You got a lot of people here.
It was nice, yeah. I was sort of pleasantly surprised that so many people came.
Yeah, I mean, is that how it is usually across the country for you, or what?
It depends on the town. San Francisco is generally a good city for me, but yeah, the South I'm bad in. People don't want to see me in the South.
Right. You do the South much?
No, because people don't want to see me there.
So that's the point of going. If you know, everyone knows Michael from the State. That's where you started your troupe, and then let's see, you just did your show. Michael and Michael Have Issues on Comedy Central, and everyone VH1, a lot of VH1. The State, you started that in New York?
Yeah. New York University. That was a
college.
It
was like as a sketch group?
Yep.
With just a bunch of other guys?
Yeah.
And then how do you go from there to like MTV?
It was sort of a bunch of sort of fortuitous circumstances. One of our guys was interning there, and he knew a producer there who was like a old boyfriend of one of his sisters.
Wow. And
they were just starting to do original programming at MTV, so they were looking for just cheap shit that they could throw on the air. So they were doing this show called You Wrote It, You Watch It, that Jon Stewart was the host of, and we wanted to work on that show. So we submitted a video that we made as a kind of audition piece, and they accepted it and hired us, and then based on the success of our work on that, they gave us our own show.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. How long did the show run?
Maybe 2.5 years, not that long.
Right. And they pay you shit, don't they?
Yeah, it was. I think I was bringing home, like after taxes and everything, on like $500 a week.
God damn.
Yeah, for writing and acting and producing and editing and everything else we were doing. It was not a lot of money.
And then went from there. Where'd you go from there? Did you stay in New York?
I stayed in New York and continued to be in New York, just because I prefer it to Los Angeles. And so, I started just doing other TV shows. I did a show called Viva Variety after The State, and then Ed after that, and Stella after that, and Michael and Michael Have Issues. And
so you've just been in New York the whole time?
Yeah.
Or in New England now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever do stand-up back then?
No. I wasn't.
Really?
I didn't really do stand-up. I sort of fiddled around with it a little bit. There were some alternative rooms just starting up in New York, and so I would go and hang out with, Jeff Ross and Mark Maron and Todd Barry. I mean, I wasn't hanging out with them because they didn't like me very much, but they were the comics that I was seeing, and fooled around with it a little bit. Would do some stuff, but it certainly wasn't what I would call stand-up. It was more sort of experimental stuff, and I didn't really start doing stand-up till right after Michael and Michael ended.
Okay.
This is kind of when I started.
You could talk. We could edit it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it says there are people who want to take pictures with you if you care for
fuck those
that.
people, dude.
It's not a lot, is it? No. Maybe I'll just do that real quick and then
go ahead.
back.
I could pause.
I feel bad if people are like waiting.
All right, you're back. Hanging out with your fans.
Well.
Oh shit! I just spilled your tea. Is that yours?
Oh, I think that was Janine's, but there's just a tiny little bit left.
There you go.
You're fine.
There you go. All right. So back to stand-up. So Ross and them, they didn't like you?
Well, they were like real stand-ups. I mean, they were really sort of out there, and I think Maron in particular just resented the shit out of us, because as he does everybody.
He does everybody, right? We
had our own, sketch show, and he just felt like we were interlopers on his turf.
Right,
so he was kind of a cock.
If you see them now, they're totally cool with you, or how's that?
Mark and I, we're okay. We're all right. Most of those guys, I'm friends with Todd. I'm friends with Jeff. And
that's cool.
All those guys. Yeah, I mean, I think I've been around long enough now that they're like, all right, you're not going anywhere. You're fine.
Right. So you started stand up what? How long ago?
Really, in a real way. 3 years.
Get the fuck 3 years ago?
Maybe.
Holy shit!
In like a serious way, yeah. Maybe
Wow.
maybe a little more, maybe 4.
How did you start? You started in New York?
Well, it started because I was doing these VH1 shows, and then I started getting offers from colleges to come. And I was
Okay.
like, well, I don't really do stand-up. And they were
Right.
like, you know, we'll give you $15,000. And I do stand-up. So, you know, but at first it was sort of like they would bill it as a lecture because I was like, I'm not a stand-up. I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Right.
And then eventually, you know, I sort of took the leap of faith that I could do it, and I started working a little bit harder at it and trying to figure out how to become a stand-up.
Would you do like open mics and shit?
No.
Really?
I honestly, I started at an hour. You know what I mean?
Right, you had to.
Right. I started by doing hours.
Wow.
And that's good and bad.
Right.
It's good in the sense that you learn how to do an hour very quickly.
Right.
It's bad because, in a weird way, there's certain skills that you don't really develop. You're starting at such a sort of weird place that there's kind of sort of fundamental, foundational things that you don't quite know how to do, just, you know, from a craft point of view. And so, you know, I had to learn very quickly, you know.
What do you mean learning, like what, riffing with a crowd, or just like
everything from
timing?
Literally even how to hold a fucking microphone in your hand.
Wow.
You know, just like where to place a microphone, how to construct just jokes, how to even just find your own voice. Like, that's a process, and it's not a process necessarily best served in hour chunks.
No.
All that stuff, you know, how to structure bits, how to work.
Did you
work
go
with a crowd.
to anyone for advice?
No,
You just figured it all out on your own.
I just started doing it. You know, I just sort of jumped into the deep end
At colleges.
at colleges,
Wow.
and then
That's impressive.
I
Like,
mean-
I'm not like kissing your ass with it, because I've seen guys like an hour's hard. And
Yeah.
what you just did out there was
Come on in.
fucking impressive. Come on.
come on in.
People, like, because like you still had them, like you knew how to control them.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Hi.
What do you need?
Something to eat? Or...
I kind of would actually. Can you come back in like 5? Because I haven't looked at the
Yeah,
menu.
no problem.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten better. I mean, I think you have to. You know, the more you do anything, the better you get at it. I still feel like I'm green isn't the right word. I'm not green, but I'm not. You know, I'm not where I want to be, and maybe you never are. You know, maybe no company
No, I
ever
think
is.
I think we're never happy. I mean, 3 years. I mean, just an hour. The way I think though, you performing with the state and all that, and all your
Yeah,
performance,
exactly.
I think that helps a lot.
That's why. Like, if somebody else were to say to me, "That's how I did it," I'd be like, "Oh, wow, that's fucking impressive." But it doesn't feel impressive to me because even though I hadn't really done stand-up, I'd been doing comedy for years. You know, just never in this form, and it's a different form and it's a different craft, but a lot of the same skills are
Right.
transferable.
Right.
So yeah, it's sort of like it's a weird way to go, but at the same time, you know, I had paid my dues in a way, just in a different way.
Right. Because, like, Charlie Murphy's, like, an example where he's been doing it, like, 3-4 years in his hour, but he never did even comedy for, like, those first 15-20 years. He was around it, but he didn't do it, and it's like, it's totally different. It's like night and day, no pun intended. But it was totally different, and I'm like, wow, that's impressive, man. And it's surprising, too, because colleges usually, they're like dumb young kids usually. Like, I feel anything controversial is tougher to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I started out being a little bit more